In this Civ 6 or Civilization 6 video, I'm going to be flexing my creative muscle, really put those 3 brain cells to use, and do the most unique video on the history of not just YouTube, but ever. I'm doing a Civilization 6 leader top 10. With half my audience asking for my Civ 6 tier list part 3, I decided to pull a blizzard and post my own Diablo Immortal with a Civ 6 top 10 leaders tier list, and 3 honorable mentions. If you do enjoy, leave a like, it does help out a ton, and let me know down below in the comments your own top 10 Civs and your opinions on this list. The first honorable mention in the Civilization 6 top 10 is going to be the land down under, the only Civ in the game who could probably weaponize their own plants and animals. Australia gets huge housing bonuses near the coast, giving them the ability to have up to 9 housing with coastal rivers. Not dealing with housing and almost guaranteeing 10 population in every city is absolutely huge, with 3 housing on the coast, making it even more preferable than fresh water. The Outback Station is strong, giving you important yields for a science victory, with even more growth, and their unique unit, the Digger, the most dangerous unit in the entire game. For me at least. One mic malfunction and a wrong letter later and my channel's terminated. But in all honesty, with 5 neutral combat strength as well as 10 combat strength on the coast, and no oil resource requirement as an infantry unit, makes them spammable, stronger, and all around just better than any infantry unit in the game, holding their own and even winning at times against tanks. They also have a unique strategy that works, but it is kind of risky. Don't build units, especially on the higher difficulties, but build a unit in each city until there's 1 turn remaining for that unit. The AI will look at you like a thick, juicy steak perfected by Gordon Ramsay himself and declare war. This gives you double production in every city for 10 turns, and with the units you have with just 1 turn remaining, you'll be able to pump out an army in just 1 turn. The best thing about this is you can keep stacking this theoretically, deleting units and repeating the strategy, although that might be taking it a little too far. All around, Australia has huge abilities, and I did debate putting them in the top 10 in the Civ 6 list. My second honorable mention, we got Nubia, who has some of the best abilities in the entire game. About 5 years ago, when Nubia was first released, being an OG Civ and all, their abilities really show, as it isn't anything flashy, but they're still strong and super underrated. The Patati Archer is one of the best unique units in the game, giving you an archer which is stronger and faster than a regular archer. It's literally just the Giga Chad meme, and you'll feel like a true TheCivLifeR subscriber when you actually use the Nubian archers. With Nubia's ability giving archers experience faster and making them cheaper, you'll have an army of archers that are stronger, faster, and more well promoted, making them one of the best early war civs in the entire game, my favorite playstyle. What puts them in the top 12? The Nubian Pyramid is one of the most unassuming but best unique improvements in the entire game. The pyramid gives you production when building districts, depending on if the pyramid is adjacent to the capital for a 40% boost or not for just 20%. This means spaceports get a huge production boost, letting you build one of the most expensive districts that routinely takes 30 to 40 turns to be finished much faster, letting you build more spaceports for a faster science victory. With your other abilities to production and early war giving you a stronger base in the early game to build spaceports for, this makes Nubia one of the best indirect science civs in the entire game. And finally, as the third honorable mention, we have Grand Colombia, who used to unironically be the best civ in the game by far when they first came out, pretty much recreating the real-life Mongol Empire with insane cavalry speed and enough boosts and buffs to combat strength to make Lance Armstrong blush. Grand Colombia gets 1 move speed for every unit in the game. That right there, in 2 lines, you just broke the entire game. Having extra movement speed is massive in this game. Since most units have 2 movement speed, you're increasing that number by 50% for every unit. And unlike those wasteful uses of sperm ruining perfectly good eggs known as scouts, you get to keep those units and actually use them for combat throughout the entire game. The Hacienda is unironically the best unique improvement ever, giving food production and gold, which is everything you need in a tile with just 1 improvement. The Comandante General, however, is the big dung Grand Colombia throws on the table, a free Great General which stacks with other Great Generals, giving you 5 combat strength for every unit, and a unique pop ability which is unique to each Comandante General, and you'll also get 1 per era, but they are random, like you don't know which one's coming first. The different pop abilities give you extra permanent combat strength, or refresh the turn of all nearby units, or something like that. They used to be so much worse, giving another movement speed and 5 more combat strength like a regular Great General, but they were super nerfed in the April update. The fact you can stack them with Himiko and other Great Generals means no Civ stands a chance against you, unless they're Babylon. Nobody stops Babylon. The final unique unit is the Llanero, a bunch of bass guitar-wielding, cowboy-hatted Latin American stereotypes designated into a single unit. They get extra combat strength from every adjacent Llanero, so the more you build, the better they perform. Almost like the legion of TheCivLifeR subscribers spreading jawlines and larger genitals to humanity, known as girthier than the pinnacle of human evolution, and most importantly, you'll never miss out on future content, so leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy, and even check out my second channel, which is about more games than Civ 6, and a more comedic tone. At worst, you miss out on 5 minutes of your life, at best you get hours of extra content. And now for the actual top 10, we start off with Macedon, one of the best domination and science civs in the entire game. With 2 unique units and a unique barracks, these dudes are set on full-on conquest domination, where they can and will erase your nation from existence with a single Thanos snap from Alexander's fingers. Their unique units in the same era are both strong in their own right, with increased defense and great general production, not to mention whenever they capture a city with a wonder, every unit everywhere heals completely. It's just like they press subscribe on the TheCivLifeR channel, it really is a wonder of society. And they also suffer no war weariness, giving a full-on counter to the nuke-wielding menace disguised as a peaceful non-violent protester, Gandhi. You can't launch nukes if you last as long as Carthage did in real life. But in all honesty, for domination, Macedon is probably the best overall civ in the game, if you know what you're doing. Most of their bonuses require you to have some sort of, I guess, understanding, and won't help you necessarily to start a snowball, but they have the potential to turn said snowball into an 800-foot threat to human survival once they really get going. None of their unique units get extra combat strength against units for the most part, but once you start taking cities and full healing, and, not to mention, all the free Eurekas and inspirations you get for every city taken, you can easily take the lead and keep that lead faster than ever with Macedon. Finally, they have a secret strategy with their unique barracks, which, if I had one chance to pronounce with a gun to my head, my answer would be tell my mom I love her, but every unit built gives you extra science, more science than a campus. If you spam out units, you will overtake everyone and win the easiest science victory of your life. Overall, a super powerful civ, although their lack of versatility really hampers them, so they stay at the number 10 slot. Next, it's time to make every internet historian and monument enthusiast soil their undergarments as we have Rome in the Civ 6 top 10. Rome gets a unique unit, the Legion, which gets 40 combat strength and a free chop or fort improvement. The Legion is one of the best units in the game because unlike other civs who get some bonus or a PhD thesis worth of information, the Roman Legion gets the bonk you harder and more thoroughly violate Article 4 of the Geneva Convention ability, making them the strongest unit in the classical era. But what makes Rome so strong is their free monuments. Every free city gets handed out monuments like they're on the Oprah Winfrey show, which gives you 2 culture per city, adding up to staggering amounts since, Rome is all about expansion, and having free monuments in like 30 cities gives you earlier political philosophy, earlier governments, and with an earlier political philosophy in general, you'll get a quicker oligarchy and more combat strength for the Legion. The Bath gives extra housing and all cities get free roads, which is a nice touch to the game. Overall, Rome has the simplest abilities in the Civ 6 top 10 list, but they are so strong that even now, 6 years after Civilization 6 released, they are still in the top 10 leaders of this game. The Ottomans take the number 8 spot, and I don't care what anyone says, the Janissaries are the best unique units in Civilization 6. A free promotion upon upgrades, stacking if you went for an early swordsman rush with no population loss when capturing cities. Not only that, but they get free amenities and loyalty for each captured city, and the Janissary itself costs a fraction of the regular musketmen. They cost about 1 million Deutschmarks in the Weimar Republic. With basically free muskets, cheaper upgrade cost, and super promotions while being stronger, your Janissaries will have the Balkans calling you father again in no time. And if the AI decides to build walls for some reason, you got the Great Turkish Bombards giving you extra production and combat strength to all siege units everywhere. And finally, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, the best unique governor in the game, the only unique governor, but you get my point. This guy gives all units buffs for each promotion he takes, with the best one being extra combat strength against cities a certain distance away from where he's stationed, which could be really close to the front lines, since with you not losing population and getting extra loyalty and amenities per captured city, you'll be able to keep almost every city you conquer without loyalty problems. There is nothing but domination for Suleiman and Ibrahim, the most iconic duo in history, as they get abilities and bonuses to literally everything related to domination victories, leaving them as the best full-on domination civ in the game, and in the number 8 spot of the Civilization 6 top 10 tier list. The Japanese take the number 7 spot, with just the adjacency bonus alone giving them an S tier ranking. Every adjacent district gets 1 yield from every adjacent district to it, meaning you place districts as close as possible for the best potential yields. The Samurai is a unique man-at-arms replacement that are strong and don't suffer from being damaged. You could have a Samurai with his limbs chopped off and he'd still one-shot your warrior with a couple headbutts, type of not suffering from being damaged. The Electronic Factories is in all honesty, and until nukes come around, Japan is almost unstoppable, which then, like in real life, you'll settle into the routine of a culture victory with your electronic factories replacing anime studios and super powerful districts. They also have Divine Wind or something as a unique ability. It does jack all, to be honest, don't rely on that. Gangnam styling our way to number 6. Okay, you know what, I'll see myself out. Korea at number 6 feels like the best place for them with their unique campus that comes in at 4 science base with no adjacency bonuses, and it gets -1 science for every district adjacent to it. Like Minecraft YouTubers with children, you don't want your CO1 campuses anywhere near other districts, as they also give bonuses to farms and mines for food and science, and, most importantly, can automatically make use of the Rationalism policy card, increasing your city's science by 50%. The governor titles each give 3% science and culture in a city, so playing tall is probably the way to go when it comes to governors. The Hwaka is negligible, and overall Korea is exactly the reason you really can't ever have a balanced science civ in Civilization 6. With all these bonuses, you're looking at an absolute machine when it comes to science production, with the only thing missing is our great leader Kim Jong-un giving -50% military production costs at the cost of 90% food as an alternate leader in Civilization 6. Number 5 might shock some of you, really call into existence the amount of neurons and their firing capabilities in my cranium, but I have Bull Moose Teddy at number 5 for the sole reason of him having the best start of any leader in Civilization 6. At the start of the game, all appealing and breathtaking tiles get science and culture if they're near mountains and woods respectively. You add that in with preserves, which gives every tile in said city more appeal. Thanks to Teddy, you'll have more science than Korea and more culture than any other civ in the game. The fact you automatically get these bonuses in one turn, literally just turn 1, is insane, as I, no joke at all, always have more science and culture than any other civ in the entire game on deity from the first turn throughout the entire game. This really lends itself well to teching up, building advanced military units, and taking out any civ with oil as is US tradition. The P-52 Mustang is an absolute disgrace on this masterpiece of a civ, giving minimal bonuses for a jet fighter unit minimally used due to the AI's allergies when it comes to building planes in general. The film studio gives double tourism production in potentially every city, meaning you will have the fastest culture victory of any civ in Civilization 6, with Bull Moose Teddy coming in at number 5 in this top 10 tier list. At 4, we have Germany. This absolute industrial powerhouse will let you dominate production in any game, giving you a decisive advantage in whatever victory type you want. Science, domination, culture, all of which need high production to be effective. The German Hanzas give them all the production they need, considering they get adjacency from just about anything. Find one decent river and you'll make more production in 1 turn than other civs will in 10. But that's not all for Germany. They have an extra military policy card, city-states are treated like the French, not to mention they have the best unique unit in the entire game, when used as a dildo. While not strong or even competent unique units in most games, the U-boat boat can be effective in specific circumstances, although the AI almost never builds boats, so it's almost never worth it. But Germany going for a domination victory is still a viable option due to all the production they have until you reach Russia. Shitty World War II jokes aside, Germany is one of the best civs in Civilization 6 due to their versatility and sheer power in any victory type, leaving them at number 4 on the list. We got the Byzantines at number 3, which have cavalry so effective they can literally climb up walls. Yup, with a religion which is almost guaranteed due to the double great prophet points and holy sites, you can easily grab Crusader while going for either a horseman or knight/togma rush. With Crusader, and by killing 1 or 2 units, you'll convert entire cities in a single turn because your horsemen also double as missionaries. After converting a city more ruthlessly than a Spaniard in Mesoamerica, you get the Crusade bonus, giving all units 10 combat strength when fighting in the city's borders, making you too strong to handle. And the best part? Cavalry units ignore walls and attack a city's life points directly if they follow your religion. After showing the world that horses can apparently fly, sending Trump back to the drawing board, you can also build hippodromes, a unique entertainment complex that gives free cavalry units for each district or building in the hippodrome built. In one turn, you can immediately field an army of the most advanced cavalry units, all for free, giving you the moniker of Mongol Horde in Civilization 6, just due to the sheer destruction you'll raise around the world. With the right beliefs, you can keep ahead in science and culture, while giving you a religious victory as a backup, which is exactly why they're number 2 on this top 10 tier list. Babylon, in a surprise to no one, gets the number 2 slot as their, well, Babylon. By building 2 crossbows, you just immediately know how to make cannons and gunpowders, which is insane to think about. But for Babylon and Civilization 6, every Eureka translates to a free technology. Take in my last video about planes in the ancient era. This alone opens up so many possibilities, giving you free technologies hundreds of turns before they're normally unlocked, leaving them as the best domination civ in the entire game. Even if you don't want planes in the ancient era or whatever, you can easily build 3 archers to unlock crossbows in less than 30 turns, upgrade them, and watch as you tear a 4x4 new hole in the AI. That's not all though, the Palgum might be the best unique building in the entire game, giving food to every tile beside a river and more production, or their unique ability, giving them free buildings in the first of every district they built, while giving envoys to districts like aqueducts and dams that don't have buildings. Maybe their unique unit, who's best suited as a middle school soccer team's water boy, but damn it if he isn't the best water boy in the league. Aside from their unique unit, Babylon has one of the strongest supporting kits in the entire game, and that's why I have them at number 2 in the Civ 6 top 10 list. And at number 1, finally, we have Russia. Not Putin Russia, Russia. The Russians in Civilization 6 have the most unfair advantage ever, even more unfair than Babylon's, honestly. They get great writers, artists, and musicians, or GWAMs for short, before anyone else. These great people are by far the hardest to get, and the most important tools for a culture victory. With Russia, they get 1 writer point for shrines, 1 artist for temples, and religious buildings give 1 musician points, which is insane. Within 30 to 40 turns, you'll be making at least 10 to 15 great musician points, depending on how many cities you have. You'll be getting those great people 100 to 200 turns before anyone else, since they all have to go for theater squares, which is a ways away, and even then, if you want great artists, you have to keep going till you get to art museums, and if you want great musicians, you have to get to radios and opera houses and stuff like that. With theater square rushes with Russia, they give you more great people than anyone else in the game, and you'll secure all the great people, giving you the easiest sub 150 culture victory you'll ever see. Even then, after you snatch up all the great people like toilet paper at the start of the pandemic, we aren't even talking about the Russian religious victory. That is their main victory type. With their Tundra Start and Dance of the Aurora along with the Lavra and its cheap cost, you'll be making more faith than you even need, as you'll get the easiest sub-turn 100 religious victory ever. There are other things you can do with Russia: work ethic, Jesuit education, and the one where you can buy units with faith, all giving them viable options to other victory types. What do you think? What's your Civilization 6 top 10 list, and what did you think of this tier list? Comment down below, and as always, if you did enjoy, leave a like, and also Jadwiga's number 1 in my heart.